In this video, we're going to take a look at how to input data into SPSS. So far we've used it to open existing data sets, but as you're collecting your own data, it's going to be important to be able to enter it. So what you're going to notice is I have these just blank columns. If I click in cell 1, nothing really happens. So I need to click in this top var bar, and that will take me to the second tab. So if you notice, if you're in the data view tab, to get to the variable view at the bottom, you're just going to double click. And so we'll name it, let's say test. But if you were looking at math scores, you'd probably want to name it something like math scores. If you were going to name it something about absences, you'd want to call it absences. So the name can be anything because all it does is generate the name here, and it keeps it consistent in your output. We should be working with numeric ones, but you can also use it as different values here. So it could be a date, it could be currency. A string just means words. So that could be like yes and no. But in general, in quantitative, we convert everything into numeric. We don't need to worry about the width of the decimals because it is going to adjust that as you enter your data in there. So everything else to the right of this isn't necessarily going to be anything that you would change. SPSS is going to be able to work and change with you. So if we go into data here, we can enter some sample values in. So let's say 13. Let me just count a little bit. And so you'll see that it's putting decimals. If I didn't want it to have decimals, I could actually change this to 0 and you would see whole numbers. So it's kind of your preference on to how much you want to see of that, especially if your data doesn't have anything past the decimal. That would be helpful. But this is how you enter variables in SPSS.